Hello there, how you doing today? I've got a question for you. I presume you have a dream or of being a world famous author, or at least somewhat successful. But you might be wondering, can I do it or not? Well, just to give you a little bit of a caveat, most likely you possibly can, no guarantee. But how can I say that you possibly can, even without a guarantee? Because, well, there's 5 super simple words here today that I'm going to give you that will help you aspire to achieve your goals and go for it. And that is, 5 words are as follows. And that goes, someone else has, wait for it, done it. Yep, that's true. Someone else has done it. There's other people who have become successful indie authors as well as successful trad authors. So, well, why not you? And why not anyone? And this is how you can possibly chart that path. Let's use author examples because we'll decide on this goal of being an author and find someone who has already accomplished it, like your favorite author that you read every day, and figure out what it is they did. And you might have to modify, you really do have to modify it to your own circumstances. Most likely you probably will. For example, I'll use one of the bigger author names we know of. Stephen King recommends in his book on writing that you write 2,000 words per day. And he also says that if you don't have the time to read, you don't have the time or the tools to write. Well, here's the thing with that though, is it's fine for somebody at that level because, remember, he started writing so long ago. Hope he didn't mind me saying that, but anyway, before he had children, as far as I'm aware. He can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And there wasn't the other responsibilities that you might have today with children and a job and other, although he did have a job, I'm sure of that, and his income level. Now he probably doesn't anymore have to worry about the price of groceries and anything else. And of course I don't have first-hand knowledge of that, but it's probably safe that at his income level he really doesn't have to worry about money and the inflationary society we live in today. Does he? Well, good for him. Let's hope we all can get there, can't we? However, the point being made is that you can always find your own time to write, and that is either on breaks at work or any other time you can sort of sneak in a little writing or anything here and there. The other point is that consistently doing something, writing, is what's key here. This is just one example of someone else who has done it, and for indie authors, I did a quick search before starting the video today, and well, there's 2 indie authors, or indie first, who found major success at later in life, after 40 or something like that, one of them being Hugh Howey. His started later, was in his mid-30s when he began publishing seriously, but his breakout success, Wool, came when he was around 38 to 40, according to this search I did, assuming it's all correct. He published Wool on Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing initially as a short story. One of the first indie authors to prove self-publishing could rival traditional publishing, before he landed major print deals while keeping his digital rights. Takeaway from him: start small, iterate, and build momentum. Its success came from consistent output and reader demand, not overnight hype. Number 2, Deborah Harkness. She was traditionally published, or is, and her discovery of witches at age 46. She was a university professor before turning to fiction, and while she is traditionally published, she built a strong audience organically, similar to an indie-style author growth. Now, quick takeaways for anyone who's starting their indie author journey. You're doing it later in life. Life experience is an asset because, well, it just is, because you may be able to have deeper characters and you have more wounds as you go through life than somebody as a teenager would probably. And then you can incorporate that into a character. Make it feel very real and authentic. And, well, your consistency beats timing, as both of those authors built their momentum over time. And what else is there? You don't need to start young. Readers mainly care more about the story, not so much the age of the author. At least let's hope anyway. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Hope it helps you, inspire you to get going on your indie author goals if you're just starting out, and keep on it if you're feeling you're struggling on the way. Anyway, I will talk to you later in 7 days. Have a great day. Have a great week. Until then, so long, everybody.